I started doing property videos, the whole market laughed at me. All of a sudden, I'm seeing people copying my style. And now I've probably done over 2,500 videos now. Be a student, but not a follower. Learn how to do things, but put your own style into it. I was 25 and I made $1.4 million that year. Real estate gave me the energy, the drive to be able to do what I can do. To get me off my chair, you get me excited at 15 million and above. I'll get excited now. This year I promised myself I want to go 10 million plus now. That's what I want to do. Andy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Zed?
Good, mate. Sorry, I ran a little bit late. I've just had back-to-back meetings.
That's totally fine. I really appreciate your time today. So our first came about you, I think I was looking at a podcast and I was going through the guests. I saw your episode with your face and it was like the top real estate agent in Victoria. Clicked on that, watched that, started doing a deep dive into your Instagram. And then I was like, I want to get Zed on my show. So that's how I initially came across you, Zed.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Zed, please give a brief intro for me and our audience, a bit about sort of who you are and sort of what you're currently focused on.
Sure thing. So last year I became the number one agent in Victoria. I sold 111 properties, an average price of just under $2 million. And I am 33 years old, but I don't know if I'm 33 or 24. I mean 34, because I was born overseas and then we migrated from Afghanistan at the age of 12 to Australia. I'm an immigrant just like a lot of people out there, and Australia has given me an opportunity to become who I am or have my own voice that actually counts instead of having that class. You can tell I've repeated this a fair bit of times there. And myself and my amazing brothers, my mum and dad, we migrated to Australia. I went to high school. I didn't speak much English. I started in grade 6, then year 7, 8, blah, blah, blah. And this is where we're at, man. Now we are one of the most followed real estate brands in Australia. We've grown a brand that's so innovative, that is so different, that is designed for the marketplace of tomorrow.
What do you think you sort of did differently compared to all the different real estate agents? Like the first thing that came to my mind is I think I was on your YouTube channel and I saw this cool video of you in like 2016. You were sort of bringing people into this house. There were like girls dancing in the background. I was like, wow, this is very innovative. Tell us more about that.
I've been in real estate for 12 and a half years. Straight after high school, all I've done is just real estate. And I got into real estate when I worked at Telstra. That was my first official job. A lovely lady came in complaining about our services at Telstra is this, Telstra is la, 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 la. And then I sold myself very well to her. She loved my enthusiasm. She loved my energy. All of a sudden, she offered me a job in real estate. And I had no idea what real estate was, because I think, when I thought about real estate, I'm like houses, valuations, and display suites. I had no idea. My knowledge was zero, but I was very good with one thing, and that was just people skills. And that's what real estate is about. It's about people. It's not about properties. So I did jump into real estate from then, and then I worked for numerous franchisees. I worked for LJ Hooker. I worked for Harcourts to start with. Then I went to Toorak, being the most expensive suburb in Melbourne, and I drowned. I failed for a good 3 years, and then because I did so much door knocking, because I worked for other brands out there, I saw a massive gap. And back then, 11 years ago, I said, back then, internet wasn't as known in the real estate world. It used to be newspaper. So buyers would show up to open houses or auctions with newspapers saying that this is the open time on newspapers, blah, 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 blah. And I went to a seminar 11, 12 years ago that internet will take over real estate. And the whole crowd pretty much laughed at him, one of the speakers. And I'm like, you know what, this speaker is actually very smart. And I know for a fact that nobody will be able to get off their mobile phones 24/7. And look at what's happened right now. There is no such thing as local market, local agents. Buyers don't walk into agencies anymore to look for estate agents. They literally just look up everything online. We don't advertise on paper anymore because that's dead as well. It was just dead money unless you want to brand yourself. I saw a massive gap in the real estate market. And I said, why don't I create these property videos instead of having ugly photos and blurry photos? Why don't I create a bit of humor around these properties? I started doing property videos. The whole market laughed at me to start off with, and I didn't speak, I spoke broken English as well. So English is not my first language. And it wasn't very welcomed in the marketplace. But you know what? In business, I like to work harder on myself than I do my job for. So then I started reading business books. I started reading personal development space. I started reading marketing books, and I self-educated myself in every angle of any business that there was out there. So then all of a sudden, because I created all these videos and all that, all of a sudden I'm seeing people copying my style. All of a sudden I'm seeing other agencies starting to do this. I'm like, obviously my business boomed back then, so then people started to copy the trend. And now I've probably done over 2,500 videos now. Every week I'm in front of the camera. Every day I'm in front of the camera, and I'm trying to do things. But you know what? I always tell people, I go, you know what? Be a student, but not a follower. Learn how to do things, but put your own style into it. Because that's why I'm putting out content out there, to inspire people, not to tell people what to do, but to actually make a difference in that young Zed's life. When I was in my 20s, I had nobody to look up to, yeah? That's how my journey started. And then 5 years ago, we created our own brand. Zed Real Estate is designed for the marketplace of tomorrow. And what I mean by that is we've got finance in-house, we have buyers advocates in-house, we have builders in-house. We literally do everything, because without money, you can't build, you can't purchase, you can't do nothing. So I said, why don't we create an agency that is not just, our agents' knowledge stops in one specific area. I could come out there and sell properties in Sydney right now if I wanted to. I can go to Dubai. All I have to do is learn the area. And through Google, this world, as big as it is right now, it's also become so small through FaceTime. I can pull up every street name in Dubai right now. I can pull up every street name wherever I am in the world, and I'll be able to pull it up. That's what technology has provided us, yeah? So knowledge gives you confidence. Fear gives you, ignorance. That's when you ignore things. So that's what I did, mate. That's what I did, and right now we're just selling, listing. I put one property a day on the market, so I'm quite busy right now, put it this way.
Out of all the different things, from selling, rental management, you said you have building side of your company, finance, advising. What's the main revenue driver at the moment?
Listing and selling properties. Listing and selling properties. We just launched a new business called Zed Interiors when we stage properties. So then what I did was I'm looking at like every angle of the property section. When people buy properties, they need new furniture. It's like new year, new me, yeah? New year, new house, new furniture. Every time you buy a house, you want new furniture in there anyways, because your ugly furniture won't fit into a luxury home. So then we've come up with a concept where the Zed Interior consultant will show up to your house, will redesign everything else, we'll provide you the package, we'll stage the house for you before you even move in. And majority of the times right now, what we're doing is we're actually selling this property for $2 million, and the furniture is inclusive. I just saw something else for $9 million. The whole furniture just came with the property, and we staged it. We gave it to them.
And
this is what Zed agents are, advisors.
With all these different parts, from the furniture to the advising to the rental management, do you just subcontract everything out, or is everything in-house?
Everything's in-house. They've got their own businesses. Everything's in-house. Everything is in-house in here.
And then has it been in the last 5 years, the last year? When did you sort of expand from just doing listing and selling only to hitting all these different markets?
We bought this building in lockdown. Actually, no, we bought it and then they announced lockdown. And then I had all these things lined up for me. I had, the tradies going back and forth. And obviously Melbourne had the longest lockdown in the world, 287 days in 1 year, which was shocking during that time. So then I was thinking to myself, I go, what the fuck are we going to do? What's going to happen? We've invested all this money, and I'm getting advice from every single person out there saying not to do this, not to do that, and it's the end of the world. All these old people are giving me advice saying don't do this. I'm like, all you fuckers out there have lived life with fear. You know what? Some of the best businesses in the world have grown during crisis. If you can last in today's market, in a bad market, in a good market, even a blind person could sell or build anything. This is what differentiates a good entrepreneur to a okay entrepreneur. Anyone can build businesses when there is high demand. Anyone can sell anything out there. But in a tough market like what we did and what we went through, and then what we did was, cut long story short, we bought the building, we spent $1 million on renovation, and everything just got delayed. That's when I say, you know what? Why don't I design an agency that every single phone call should make us money? If I say that I'm not in real estate for the money, that means I'm lying. If it's not about money, I will just go work at Macca's or become whatever. Everything in life we do, we get educated to make more money so that we can become valuable out there. Everything's around money. The thing that I always tell people, I go, make sure that you're financially independent yourself first. That's how you can help others around you. Why do you want to be a doctor? Obviously to help people, but it's got good money. It's always safe. Let's face it, money rules the world. That's not everything in the world. However, you know, it helps you. It gives you choices. That's what you want to do.
Zed, how do you keep your energy so high and have that drive and focus? I don't know what it's like throughout the day, but just like chatting with you now, you have super high energy. How do you maintain that sort of focus?
How do you not have energy? If you got no energy, the energy you put out is the energy you receive. Yeah. Nobody wants to deal with a boring person out there. If I was to talk to you right now, Andy, how was your day? Did you have a good day? All that, you would get bored as shitless. So then there's a very old saying that salespeople are not born; they're made. You become the person you are, and whoever you become, that's who you attract as well. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. So then in order for you to be successful in anything you do in life, you have to become the person first. So that's why they say you got to work harder on yourself than you do on your job force. Nobody wants to be negative. Nobody wants to be boring out there. There is winners out there in life, and there's people out there that haven't found themselves. Can you find yourself? Can you speak better? Can you everything in life you got to practice to become who you are. Everything. You can become anyone you want out there. You just got to self-educate yourself. The energy is something that I thrive on. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy changing lives, and I go out there, put the same energy to people out there because there's enough negativity out there, and there's enough boring people out there. Yeah, a salesman, when you meet him, and when you meet a sales agent from Zed Real Estate or Zed, whatever it is, they need to have that spark about them because you only get one impression to introduce yourself to the marketplace. You got to make sure that you leave a good impression, and you left a very good first impression. 24/7, be full of energy. People don't want to deal with boring people. I don't want to deal with someone that's boring. He's going to bore the shit out of me. I only negotiate with people, and I only deal with salespeople because I want good energy. Like I just tell my staff members, I go, don't talk so, to be honest. These are very, very bad words. I'll try it, hopefully. These are very weak words. I will do. Here's the strategy. Let's move forward.
Are you currently sort of reading, coaching? What are you doing do you still sort of work on yourself, or are you just sort of doing stage at the moment?
Every day I work hard on myself. Every day I read something positive. Every day I listen to some podcast that is positive. Every single day I listen to people that actually resonates with myself and my energy level. My hand's itching right now. That means there's another deal coming up. So that's what I do on daily basis. Majority of the times that you think that you know it, that's when you make a mistake. As a human being, we have to work harder on ourselves on a daily basis. It's like, yes, you might know it sometimes. I know it all, but if you listen to the same book, or if you read the same audio book, if you read the same book or listen to the same audio book, you pick up one or two things from every single time. Yeah. So then what I did was I came up. I mentor a lot of estate agents. I mentor a lot of businesses. I mentor a lot of business brokers out there. I came up with my own book, and people can just jump online, zedtalk.com.au. They can register it. It's got objection handling. This is the sales Bible on how people can actually, learn more, earn more, and become financially independent. If that's what they're after. That's why I created this. So talk about reading. I read every single day.
That's quite unique. Like I've had friends that are real estate agents, and they don't talk about learning sales, learning objection handling. Sort of the thing they say, it's like it's a bigger ticket. You can't, get someone to buy on the spot. You can't, close them on the day.
They're strugglers. They're idiots. All your friends are idiots if that's how they talk. I'll tell you that right now. They'll always struggle. They probably do one or two sales inconsistently like this. That's how they talk. The person that says, I know it all, it's a tough market out there, you got to change the way that you think. You got to have enough reasons for yourself to give you enough purpose out there. They probably don't have enough reasons. They just want to work to get by. That's all they want to do. There's a very old saying, you got to have enough reasons for you to actually pull you towards that goal. Does that make sense? I have enough reasons. That's why I keep going towards my goal. I want to fuck shit up in a very nice way.
What is that reason? Like, what is that why? Is it just to make a shit ton of money?
No, money doesn't drive me. It's leaving a legacy. It's about me being able to make sure that I've actually used my brain, I've used my time on a daily basis. Because the last thing I want to do is be in a hospital in my dying bed saying I should have done it, could have done it, would have done it, and I regret. See, a tree grows as tall as it can. Why can't humans do that? If somebody else has built a tall tower, why can't I do that? What have you done different? Go out there. That's why I say, don't be a follower, be a student. Put pen and paper down, bam, learn.
And currently, what are you a student of? Are there people that you're listening to at the moment, people that you read, things that you constantly repeat and go over again and again?
I don't listen to people in Australia, okay? I don't look up to no motherfucker out there is out there. Sorry about my French, but I just swear a lot, okay? This is what I do in all my podcasts. look up the no estate agents in here because all they do is majority of them, they're just order takers. They're not innovators. Yeah. So what I do is I look up to a lot of people in the States out there. I look up some of the agents in Europe and all that stuff. So it gives me inspiration. I'm like, you know what? I could do this. They've done this, but I could do it better. I always, find things on how I can improve myself. I never compare my business. I never compare anything else out there because if you think about it, there's only one Andy that looks like you out of 8 billion people. That is your biggest point of difference. If you were to tell me that you're going to start a business today, for example, you might come up saying, let's call it welcome product, or let's call it, what do you do with yourself, Andy?
I have an online education company.
All right, what's it called?
Studying.com.
Done. And if you tell me what name should I come up, I go Andy's Education Center. Done. That's the name. Create a legacy for your name. You look at Gucci, that's their name. You look at Louis Vuitton, that's his name. You look at, for example, Ferrari, Enzo Ferrari's name. You look at Lamborghini, Ferruccio Lamborghini, they're all their names.
Zed, if you were to scale, how would you get into Sydney? How would you get into Dubai? Where would you start? Would it be finding a partner in that city?
I don't want to go to Dubai. Australia is home for me. We've gone to Gold Coast right now. We're building the team slowly, and our brand's going there. And one of the biggest reasons why we've gone to Gold Coast because the majority of my clients are purchasing properties in the Gold Coast, and Gold Coast is more like a boom or bust market. So it's and majority of those developers are actually based from Melbourne or Sydney, and that was our biggest motive to go up there right now. And Gold Coast, I love the sunshine there. It's one of my favorite places in the world.
Zed, how did you go about selling 200 million plus in real estate? How did you close and sell a house on average every 3 days? What did you do differently that allowed you to do that?
I put my head down. I was disciplined. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You call me even at night around 10 o'clock to, come list the property, sell the property. I'll be there at 11 o'clock. I have no issues. I put my head down. I don't listen to anything else. But if it makes a difference in my client's life, I just go out there and do it. I don't look at the time. If you want to buy the things in life without looking at the price, you got to work without looking at the clock. 9 to 5 is, okay. I'm not built like that.
Prior to building that sort of network where you have people constantly messaging you, hey, can you list this, can you list that? How did you do that, as a nobody? How do you get to that stage?
I do that right now. I'm a nobody right now. I'm not saying I'm somebody. I'm a nobody right now. I walk into job sites. Every time I drive past something, I stop by. Whoever I'm in, I'm with mum, dad, I go, who's the site manager here? My name is Zed. I'm from Zed Real Estate. You looking at selling? You got a estate agent? Okay, good. We already got an agent. Oh, good. Is he providing the right service? Is he doing the right thing by you? Are you getting the right results? Bam, I sell myself. Because the minute you speak the words that comes out of your mouth, it's very, very influential, yeah? So your words either break you or they make you.
Do you have a follow-up process, or are you just a huge volume game? Just knock on as many doors as possible, and the people who sort of say yes, that's all you need?
I follow up every single day. I don't follow up once or twice. I follow up 4 times before I get to that specific client. I didn't give up on 1, 2 phone calls. 4, 5, 6 times I call them up until they actually tell me piss off.
And how do you manage? Do you have a massive Excel sheet with every single sort of homeowner that...
Every single agent gets a database. We use a database called Box and Dice. That's what we use. And then the follow-up system that I've got is pretty good. So I just send out messages every time we do a property video tour. Majority of my clients are actually from social media. They follow me on socials. I add every single one of my clients on social media because they get to look at my stories. On my story, my Instagram, on average, I get about 12,500 views. So that's 12,500 people I don't even contact on a daily basis. And I just keep creating content for them. They just keep giving me business.
Interesting. So you don't sort of do a lot of one-on-one follow-up. It's all just email flows, social media, email blast campaigns.
I do follow up. I don't like emails. I never read emails unless it's an offer. You'll never get me, And with social media, I hate being on it, but it makes me money. That's why I'm on it.
And then when you go ahead and follow up with individual clients, are you just texting them and just sort of doing every month?
Rich people don't have time to call, bro. So I just text them to start with, and then I call them after hours. Because of the clientele and the space that we deal in, the luxury space, you don't want to pick up every single person's phone call. Yeah, they don't want to be bothered. Some of the millionaires, they just like to be text first, bam, introduction. The second phone call, the minute you pick up, they answer your phone call within the first 5 seconds. If you haven't got a good impression, you haven't got the right tonality, they're going to hang up on you. It's the worst thing as a salesman you can do. I'm pretty sure every person gets it out there in the country, all over the world. When you get a phone call from Philippine salesman or an Indian salesman overseas, hi sir, would you have 5 minutes? Don't tell me if I have 5 minutes, idiot. Talk to me. My name is blah 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 Bond, and I'm calling from this agency. Here is what I'm willing to offer you. Don't say, are you open to it? Stupid scripts. Practice on yourself and your scripts, on your pitching more than anything else out there.
And how do you not be annoying? Like when you're following up 6-7 times, is that over a period of a month, a year, 2 years? How often are you sort of checking in on
Every 3 months. I call them every 3 months. I check up on them every 3 months. How are you going? Good. How was that specific dinner that you had? I ask, I acknowledge, and then I ask again. I'm focused on building relationships. I don't just talk business. One thing I do very, very well in my business is I story tell. And I add value. I always add value. I advise. Don't sell now. Sell in 2 years' time. Why are you selling? Okay, let's figure it out. Can we make money on this job site? I design. I do everything, mate. From finance, I've got knowledge to bloody development space from everything. I don't just list and sell properties. That's why I call myself our agents a wealth creator. They're very entrepreneurs. They're entrepreneurs for the marketplace of tomorrow. They know about everything. They know about marketing. They know about interior design, staging, everything. I don't like spending people's money to just have food in front of them. Majority of the agents out there, they want you to give them food in there. You want you to feed them as well. They're just lazy. That's what happens.
That $200 million number, is that just you or is that you with your team?
Me.
Wow. And how do you go about teaching what you've done and scaling that so that your agents can start achieving the same results? Like what's the best way to train and duplicate what you've learned?
We just did some training right now. That's where we're at. We just did some training with the staff to make sure that they've got the numbers right and all that stuff. I don't force people to work. None of them actually call in sick. They don't want to call in sick, as Zed will say, because we've created an environment, a culture where it's literally, a friendly, a family environment where they want to come in here because they want to be inspired. Like I don't remember last time I actually sat down with one of my staff and I spoke to them for 10 minutes saying, hi, how was your weekend? That's bullshit. That's all. Before you know it's the end of the day, you haven't accomplished anything.
The best seller within your company besides you, how much is he doing a year?
Yeah, it makes good coin. It makes really good coin. Good coin. You can hear it right now, so I won't tell you, but yeah, because he's right next to me. But yeah, you take some. Let's just say you make more money than the president.
Got it. I wasn't mentioning how much he makes, but how many sales, real estate sales.
Yeah, he does. I would say 1.5 a year. 1.5.
105 million?
No. Gross. 1.5 million gross.
Wow, that's insane. And what has he done so well as a mentee of yours? Like, what did he pick up that allows him to do that?
Well, he's my brother. He's consistent. He's disciplined. He works smart and he works hard.
How did you, being the youngest brother, be able to sort of achieve everything and bring in your family? And sort of what made you different within the family? Were you close with your brothers? Like, why? How did you become Zed?
They were all in different divisions. One of my brothers was in finance. 2 of them were in finance, and the other one was in joinery, and he's formally educated. Yeah. So if you look at all of them like that, I was 25 and I made $1.4 million that year. Like, what the hell? So they've got formal educations and all that stuff. Real estate gave me the energy, the drive to be able to do what I can do and earn unlimited commission. It's up to yourself what you want to do. Yeah. The thing with real estate is, where the money's at. It's behind doors. Go out there, knock on them, ask them if they want to, sell. I don't understand why real estate agents fail. I genuinely don't get it. They know where the money is. They're just lazy. They just don't want to help themselves. Create a structure that you can go out and talk to as many people as you can. Very simple. What you put out is what you get in this game.
What would be the structure you would give to a new agent? Would it be knock on 100 doors, collect 50 numbers, follow up on those 50 numbers over the next 2 years and just keep knocking on more doors?
100%. Doors, and also in today's technology world, reach out to them on LinkedIn. If it's raining outside in Melbourne, it rains 9 months at a time. Type in builders in one specific area. Type builders in Double Bay. And I'll be able to connect with 50 different one of them, and I'll keep prospecting them. Think about it. If you're a real estate agent, who builds? Builders. Who designs? Architects. Who gives money? Brokers. These are the people. Accountants. Build a relationship with them. That's it. It's very basic.
And then why are you focusing on building relationships with them rather than homeowners?
Because builders, their job is to build. So you're working smart, not hard. And finance people, they give money to those people. They're the ones that are 10 times more advisors and influential to them.
And then when you build these relationships with these builders and these financial advisors, how do you get them to refer all their clients to you?
That's when they see value in you because you've made a good impression. You've got the results. And even if you don't have the right results, it's the way you speak, the way you present yourself, how sharp you look, the words that come out of your mouth. Are you making a difference in their life? What makes your approach different to everybody else out there? This is the thing with Zed Real Estate. We're such a different brand of agency, and people want to work for our brand because it gives them allowance to actually build their own brand. Within the brand, we support our agents to build a brand. I don't rely on staff to make them, make the company money. And this is the problem with a lot of agencies. They lose their staff because they're reliant on their staff to make money. Majority of agencies, majority of organizations.
How do you go ahead and give value and build that trust with these relationships you build? Like when you're talking to a builder, like how do you sort of give value as a real estate agent? Even when you're talking to like a financial advisor, like how do you give value and sort of help them so that you're top of mind?
That really depends on each specific site, each specific clientele, and depending on what they want to sell and all that. So then ideally what you want to do is you want to be full of energy, be very enthusiastic, learn about your knowledge, learn about your area, know what you're talking about because that will give you confidence, yeah? Learn about that specific product. You should know everything that's on the market that's been sold because they already know about it anyway. So you should know more than 10 times more than what a developer knows in terms of the pre-sales, in terms of current houses on the market, what's going to be the competition. For example, when I deal with a developer, I don't just tell them to go out there to do this. I design for them. I help them with the finishes and everything else, so it adds value. What does a normal real estate agent do? Oh, this is our boring campaign here. We're going to spend your money to market ourselves, put a big banner up, blah, 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 put this in order to... No, that doesn't give you value. All right, this is what we're going to do. You've got a stupid architect developer. Change that. He hasn't utilized the lane. Why hasn't he gone wider on the entrance? Why isn't there enough skylights coming out here? It's south-facing property. Put more skylights in the bathroom too. He's a fucking idiot, this architect. Change him. Reapply. Because you're not going to get your money back. That's what I do different. That's what we do different. And then what we do is with developers as well. All right, cool. I'm going to furnish the property. We're going to sell these townhouses for $1.2 million each, fully furnished. That's how we differentiate our product. It's about doing more than what you've been paid for. It's about adding value. Not to just say, that house sold for this much, this is what we're going to do different. No. It's idiotic.
Now, as a new agent, how do you earn and gain all that knowledge so that you can give value to these people?
If you're a new agent, work with somebody that's actually performing well. Work under them for a good minimum of 12 to 24 months. Learn everything. Ask them questions, so then you learn. It's like you go out in the ocean, you don't know how to swim, you're going to dive. You're going to sink in there. That's idiotic. It's so basic. Just go out there and learn. That's what happened to me for the first 3 years. I stuffed up. I had no knowledge, nothing at all. And it was my arrogance, it was my ego. You know what, this guy can do it, I can do it too. No, I failed. I just wish I could have worked with somebody else so they could teach me that.
When you're sort of a new agent and you don't have access to luxury homes, how do you start building your social media presence and following? Like, did your social media grow because of the access you had to luxury homes, or did you do something initially?
You got to understand what social media is about. Social media is not about you, how amazing you look, yeah? Social media is literally about a personal website that you can create value to the marketplace. And how does people jump onto? When people want to jump onto my page, for example, if they want it, like for the followers that follows me, they follow my page, number one, because they see value out of it. I give them value. I sell them the luxury space and I educate them on the finishes and everything else out there. And I do podcasts and I keep creating content so it gives them value and they have access to my stock off market and all that. That's why they jump on. You follow a brand, because you follow a star because of his new songs. You follow Chris Brown because of new songs. You're a fan of his work. Your social media is not for you to look good in. It's got to be a value-added content, yeah? And that's why, it's a bit sad that because on social media, people are trying to pretend to be somebody else that they're not. When Instagram released bloody blue ticks that anyone can buy to get their accounts verified, mate, they sold 66 million and they made $440 million in one day. Sorry, they sold 44 million blue checks in one day and their profit was 660 million. 44 million. Why? Because people are trying to pretend to be somebody else that they're not. Like, they're getting their accounts verified so Instagram can make money. Are you fucking serious? Why are you putting on a fake image? Be a value-added member of the society. That's it. All these guys, little kids you see, I used to be one of them. We just follow asses and tits and all these girls are getting like 67,000 likes and shit like that. That's not value-added content. That's ridiculous. You're exposing your body so you can get likes. I feel sorry for you. So, but If you use it in a bit way that you're actually making money out of it, I think you're being very smart, because it just tells you how stupid some people are. That's what gets liked. We attract negativity rather than positivity. This is what our social presence is. I get some stupid comments sometimes. I don't even look at them. I go, you know what? I got somebody running my socials. I don't even want to. I don't want to be part of it. I'm glad people are talking about it, because it gives us something to talk about. So I just focus on releasing content to people that resonates to 1%. I'm not aiming at 100% of the population. I'm aiming at 1%. I'm making an influence on them. I don't create value for them. I create value for the marketplace.
Got it. So you'd probably be recommending Instagram, do reels, talk about market updates, real estate advice, and sort of give educational, valuable content. And it doesn't necessarily have to be luxury house tours.
It doesn't have to be. What's stamp duty? Talk about that. If you're a newbie talk about most basic things. So this is what happened. Share a story, real, authentic. That's what I used to do a lot. Yeah, a real story. Okay, guys. So a client of mine bought a property for $255,000, and then they knocked down the house for $10,000. That's how much that cost them. And then your stamp duty was 15 grand on top of that. All of a sudden, they appointed a builder. Total price cost them 600, and now they've just sold for $700,000. That is a profit of $100,000 in 1 year. Most basic stuff. People want to know about that. So the more of the stories, guys, don't work hard, work smart. There's a risk in everything we do. As you know, real estate is the safest investment. Make sure you invest into areas, and here's the due diligence checklist that you guys should do. Very basic, generic information. I would love to give it. I would love to watch those videos if I'm 20, if I'm 40. I don't know anything about the market. If I'm 50, it doesn't matter. No one's old enough to not make money. You're getting older anyways. You might as well just invest money and create wealth for yourself. Every day you should learn how to raise capital. Every day you should be self-educating yourself on a skill that you don't have.
Are you personally focused and invested into real estate? If so, is it like a bunch of multi-family homes, single-family homes? What do you personally do?
For me, I like flipping properties because I've got a good vision when I walk into a house and I just look at it, bam, I do it. I flipped a 145 in the last 4. I do one transaction a year minimum. So and the advice I like to give people now, because of the knowledge that I know, and I know the where the market's at, depending on which area I'm investing money in, I just do side by side. I live in one, sell the other one, so I don't have to pay the capital gain tax. And majority of builders are doing that. They live in the property for the first 12 months, they sell the other one, and then they move into it, so they to avoid doing that. Side by side, true, or just do one luxury home, or just flip the existing property. I'm not greedy. Even if I make $200,000, that's specific. Yeah, that's money I never had. $150,000 divided by 12, that's 15 grand a month. Why not? Make your money work for you.
How much percent of your customers are returning customers? People buying their second homes, selling their second homes?
We get a lot of repeat business. I get a lot of repeat business, but I don't. The repeat business is already there anyways, but I chase fresh business because it gives me a challenge. I get bored very easily. I want challenges. I don't get excited for a property if it's now to get me off my chair. You get me excited at 15 million and above. I'll get excited now. This year I promised myself I want to go 10 million plus now. That's what I want to do.
And then how are you balanced between selling these luxury $15 million homes versus trying to get deals with property developments and sort of sell these like whole sort of apartments? Like, are you doing both? Are you focused on luxury?
I'm doing everything. Like Angel just closed, my assistant just closed something for $476,000. It's $12,000 I never had.
Wow.
I just chase money, man. I don't care how big the thing is. Whether I sell it, there's a big difference in selling a luxury home to selling a house under 1 million. Big, massive difference. I'm talking like you need to know 10 times more than your developer and your builder and the marketplace, and you need to know 10 times more. Not everyone can sell the luxury space. It's a lot more challenging. Very, very challenging. You have to know. Houses under 1 million, they sell themselves technically. You don't need an agent. Just go out there, show up, and just negotiate. Yeah. But whereas a luxury space, there's a lot of work that needs to be involved in negotiation, selling the existing dwellings, and there's a lot that is involved, and that's what you've got to master. But it's obviously rewarding as well. I mean, 2% of $4 million, 80 grand, instead of making 20 grand. You're working smart, not hard too, yeah? We just did a deal last week at 3 million, bam, 60 grand. Work smart, not hard, yeah?
How many agents do you have right now, Zed?
There's probably over 30.
Wow. And How do the other agents, do they sort of hunt on their own? Like when leads go through your website, your social media, do you sort of send them sort of deals that you can't handle? How does it work?
I encourage them to build their own personal brands on socials, because this is where our society is heading towards. This is where our market's heading towards. It's literally all social media, mobile phones. I encourage them to create content and all that. And when I get leads, when I get listings, I actually distribute it to my agents as well. For example, majority of them are running my listings, or they've got their own listings. They go out there from one listing, from one board that creates another board, and they just keep prospecting. That's what we're doing.
And then are you focused on sort of getting more agents and having them sell on your behalf and then sort of doing less yourself? Or do you still want to be sort of hitting high scores and selling more each year personally?
I will always be listing and selling properties. I love pressure. I love growing from it. It's not about the money, it's about the deal. And I make the client feel that they've won. I love the game more than anything else. So I will always be listing. I'm not going to back off. I don't do that. I go double the speed. I'm going double the speed than what I was, 5 years ago. It's funny because people think, you get to a stage you won't have to work as hard. I'm actually working double the speed. But you got to keep it. Success means continuation of success.
What was the main catalyst with all these sort of entrepreneurial sort of content that you've been releasing lately, and sort of education and sort of things that aren't real estate related, but more sort of business, life advice? What was the main catalyst for that shift?
What was the what, sorry?
The main catalyst or the main reason behind sort of wanting to do that?
One of the biggest reasons why I do this type of podcast, just like yourself, Andy, is to give value to the society. It takes away so much of my time, dude. You have no idea. Like I've got to close so many deals right now, but right now I could be making 10 grand right now, minimum. But I'm here on this podcast. One of the biggest reasons why I promised myself, I said in 2023, 2024, I need to give back. I have to give back, and that's why I'm releasing more podcasts. I'm jumping onto a lot of podcasts and all that. That obviously I can work around it, to literally help and inspire the Generation Y, or that specific person that is lost in their business world, or that person, that doesn't have that self-belief. I will give them that belief to make sure that they grow out of that. Or someone that doesn't believe that they can go out there on their own, and their directors or their leaders are telling them, don't leave, it's too scary out there. I want to inspire that person. That's my goal, man.
When you talk about if you had an extra hour, you can literally close some deals and make 10K right now. What are the levers are you pulling? Like, how do you literally make 10K with an extra hour? Like, what are you doing? Are you calling people? Like, what's that lever you're pulling?
I have 4 or 5 appointments a day. 4 or 5 appointments. I plan my day in advance, plan my week in advance. My calendar is full the whole month, 24/7. Even I got an appointment for next year. That's how busy this is. Like, I need to have appointments here. Otherwise, I won't have anything to look forward to. You look at someone's calendar, an estate agent's calendar, it tells you a lot how busy they are.
Do you do holidays?
I don't have appointments. Like, look at this. I've been with you right now. Literally, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 messages, 4 voicemails. Like, literally, I have to bam, 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 bam. And if I don't have that, I'm like, all right, hi John, how are you? Good. It's Zed from Zed Estate. You purchased something else off me last year. I got another slide. Would you like to make more money? All right, good. All right, Zed, tell me more about this product. Okay, so your purchase price is $2.2 million. Your stamp duty of 2.2 is la 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 la. Here's $186,000. Here's your holding cost, and this is how much I can sell it for you. Are you happy to make an extra $450,000? Zed, send me the paperwork. Let me look into it. Good. Hi John, did you have a look at the paperwork? Okay, good. John, did you have a look at the paperwork? Good. All right, John, I want to meet up with you right now. Bam. That's how I close it.
When you have a CRM with thousands of people, how do you know the ones to follow up with and call that's worth your time, that would most likely jump on this offer that you just gave them?
It's mainly the people that I know that's got the mentality, the mindset. I try not to motivate an idiot, because then you got to motivate an idiot. I only deal with people that actually understand OQP, only quality people, OQC, only quality conversations.
I love that. Do you do holidays, Zed? Since you're scheduled a year out, do you block out a holiday in a year advance? How do you do holidays if you're always booked in?
Phone never switches off, 24/7. Even if I'm holidays, if I'm getting a massage, for example, I'm somewhere, wherever I am in the world, my phone never switches off. Hold on 1 sec. Let me get this phone call. 24/7. The phone doesn't switch off. Last night, I dropped off my dad and my older brother, the CEO of Zed Real Estate, to Afghanistan, and he's gone after 20 years to Afghanistan, which I'm quite worried. But and spontaneously, I said to him, I can join you guys on this flight if you want me to. Let me just come. He goes, dude, nah, don't come. It's too risky. Like, I have the flexibility to be able to do that. I can be in Vegas tonight if I want to be. I can be in LA tonight, wherever I can. I work hard to make sure that, I can afford the things that I couldn't afford 10 years ago.
Given that real estate, it's all about people, all about relationships, how have you scaled that? You're only one person, you only have 24 hours. How do you scale people and relationships?
Keeping in touch with them. Keeping in touch with them, answering their phone calls, and always being there for them if they actually need you, and always being their advisor. Don't be a salesman, be an advisor. Two different things. Always make sure that you do 10 times more than what you've been paid for. It brings you back 10 times back. Always do more than what you've been paid at all times. Always have the right intention. Always be authentic. If you don't recommend something yourself, don't recommend to other people out there. And never ever talk bad about somebody else. Never ever badmouth somebody else. If you're pointing fingers, one finger at somebody else, there's four fingers pointing at yourself. Always try to improve yourself. Always, make sure that you've brought in a change within yourself, within your mindset. Change starts within your own mindset. Your marketplace will change the way that you think. Everything will change the way that you think. It all starts in here. Our life gets better when we think better. Law of attraction. What you put out is what you get.
Do you do manifestations, affirmations, meditations? Is that any of that part of your routine, Zed?
I pray. My religion is Muslim, and gratitude is a big thing for myself. I pray. I don't pray 5 times a day. As a Muslim, you have to pray 5 times a day. I pray probably once a fortnight. I do that. I can't say I do that on a daily basis. I'm not a religious person myself. However, gratitude is a big thing for me, bro. Regardless of whether it's, God, Jesus, a Buddha, whoever it is, as long as you believe in a higher force, because, religion is made for a way of guidance. It gives people hope. Yeah. And I think the best religion is always do the right thing by people. Never do anything wrong. And always be grateful, man. You just closed the deal, be grateful. You just lost the deal, be grateful. You got your health, you got your wealth. That's it, man. Never do anything wrong. Go home to your bed with peace in mind. You've never done anything wrong. You got nothing to be scared of. Thank you, God, for another beautiful day.
Zed, what's the focus for the next 6 months for you?
For the next 6 months, what I want to do is, realistically speaking, I'm at a level in my life right now where I want to focus on my body, my physique, my mental health. That's what I want to do. I am going double the speed, but I've got to make sure that right now that I'm focusing on my health as well. Because I work so much and I forget to live sometimes. I wasn't born to work, yeah? I work so I could live. So that's what I'm going to focus on right now. And it's just going to be selective people, selective conversations. I was in Toorak the other night and I told this vendor, I go, you know what? I don't have patience for this. It's 9:45 at night. You don't appreciate the time that I'm in. I've been putting in here. You're the one that's greedy. So I stand up. It's just OQC. Only quality conversations. I've become very, very, as I'm growing older, I've become very impatient. Yeah. But I'm also very patient that I've worked on. I've, read leadership books on how to speak and how to listen like a CEO and all that. Patience is something you work on. But right now, I'm becoming very, very selective. And I should have done it at the start as well. It's more about, me. This year is more about me. It's about my health. How much money will ever be enough money? I remember when I first wanted to buy my first car, I'm like, I can't wait to buy a newer car. I can't wait to wash my car when I buy a nice car. Fuck, the last time I washed, my car, I can't remember. I've never touched it myself. Yeah, I can't wait to buy my first home. All right, fuck it. We got this new first home. Can we get a double story? Shit. All right, we got this double story. We got the monster home. What else can we do? So it's always about elevating. So right now, next 6 months, I'll be working on my mindset right now and giving back. That's what I'm going to do.
When you talk about being selective, what things do you look for in people? Like, what are the types of people that you're keeping in your inner circle, and what things do you do to sort of balance and actually give that inner circle your time?
Okay, people that don't talk my language, people that don't have my energy level, bam, that's it, simple as that. I cut them off. I have a lot of high school friends that I love them to, they're like my brothers. We always catch up. They're not entrepreneurs. They're not business minded. They just want to be able to provide for their family. That's what they want to do. And I think they're, very successful because that's what makes them happy. For me to share a business idea with them, I would never ever try to motivate an idiot, because then I've got to motivate an idiot. And I always say that to people. I go, only quality conversations with the person that has the same drive as myself, with the person that has the same vision as myself. All right, how can we make more money? How can we elevate from here moving forward? How can I align myself with somebody else that makes more money than me? Then how can I, use his mindset? How can I elevate from there? That's what I do. That's why I'm like, coming up with Zed Interior, Zed Suits. I'm investing into everything. I'm going to label Zed everything.
Last question. What's something that you picked up over the last few months that you have now implemented into your life? Something new you've learned, etc.
I learn something new every single day. I learn from a 16-year-old. I learn from a 20-year-old to a 40-year-old to a 50-year-old. Every house I go into, if they go, like last week I went into a presentation. They want $5 million for this house, and I said, "Why do you own a $5 million property? What does success mean to you?" So I always try and learn something every day, every single day, every day. So the last 3 months, if you say what have I learned in the last 3 months, literally just on daily basis. It doesn't have to be last 3 months. On daily basis, I learn something new every day.
With all these luxury homeowners, is there anything you do where you can build a relationship with your clients? Because these people buying beachfront properties that are $5-10 million, they're high net worth individuals. What lessons have you learned spending time with them?
Time is money. You invest money, there's got to be an exit strategy. Don't wait for hope. Hope is not a strategy to live life. You're going to make your money work for you on a daily basis. You want to invest $500? How do you get $700 out of $500? All right, is there an exit strategy, or are you just going to wait until you're dead? Before you know it, you literally have cancer or something's happened to yourself, and all of a sudden money doesn't even mean anything to yourself. Every time you do something, there's got to be an exit strategy. Plan your day in advance, plan your year in advance, plan your week in advance, and learn how to do feasibility statements and all that every time. And what I mean by that's when you invest money into something, plan for it, work out exactly inch by inch, dollar by dollar, where is it going? And what's the worst case scenario, what's the best case scenario? Bam, let's move it forward.
Love that, Zed. Zed, where can our audience find more about you? What's the best way for them to just absorb more Zed?
Zedtalk.com.au. Jump onto my YouTube channel, jump onto my social media. I release more content in here for a lot of people out there. Jump onto Flipside's podcast, #1 podcast in Australia. I love your energy, I love your drive, mate. Jump onto Flipside. I love what you're doing, mate.
Thank you, Zed. I love your high energy. I loved how you just knocked through all these questions, and I love how you're really focused on giving value, building relationships, only spending time with quality people, and you're sort of always talking about even where you're at now, you're sort of learning, and also you're like so humble. You talking about how even nowadays people don't know you, and you have this level of humility even where you're at, and that's amazing, and I really appreciate your time today.
No one should get ahead of themselves, Andy. I was 16 once, I was 20 once, I was 25, I was 28. No human being deserves to be arrogant. Every successful person you talk to, they're always very humble, and you have to be nice to move forward. Sometimes I talk to these arrogant, rich listers, whatever, who the fuck they are. I bring them back to earth. I teach them that they're not invincible. That's why we should always visit graveyards and go to funerals, because they should know that we will not be here forever. Leave something good behind. Make a difference in people's lives. Be kind. If people want to walk away, let them walk away. Never forget where you've come from. You used to be 16 one day, Mr. Millionaire. Used to climb trees. Used to date girls. All of a sudden, you're so serious. I got told, "Why do you swear on stage, Zed?" I said, I had a builder in my office once. He said, "Why do you swear on stage?" I said, "Hold on." I said, "Why am I trying to pretend to be somebody else that I'm not? And you sat here in the last 30 minutes and all you've said was every second words, fuck this, fuck that, fuck that." I said, "So technically, if you were to go on the media, you're going to put a different image, but whilst you're talking to me, you're a different person." I said, "Mate, that's not good. That's split personalities. That means you haven't embraced you first, okay? And once you're comfortable with yourself and you've embraced you, that's how you can share yourself to the world in an honest way. It's authenticity. Be who you are, embrace it. If people like it, good. If they don't like it, that's okay. You'll resonate with somebody else. Not everyone has to like you. And that's why when I sell houses, I talk 80% positive and I talk 20% negative, because nothing in life will ever be perfect. We're human beings. We have to talk negative. That's what keeps us going. We have to have problems in our business, because problems are, if you've got no problems in your business, that means you got nothing to look forward to. Always have problems, but focus on the solution rather than the problem.
I love that. Thank you so much, Zed. Really appreciate you. Guys, if you made it this far, really appreciate your time. Hope you guys got some value. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. That's another episode of the podcast. Peace.